yeah, really grateful to be here and just share my experience with the fasting journey. Just a reminder that I'm working with a naturopathic doctor. I'm not just doing this fast alone and without guidance. So I just want to make that super clear. And you hear the kids in the back. There's like a little park right there. So apologize for that noise. But in any event, I just want to make it clear that I'm working with a doctor, a naturopathic doctor. So I'm not just doing this like willy-nilly on my own, just, you know, I'm actually, have a lot of guidance. And people think when they hear fasting, they think total restriction or not having any water or anything. No, I have juices, but the kind of juices I have are not sugar related. So there's no sugar in the juice. It's basically vegetables. So you juice just vegetables and that's all you drink. Garlic and turmeric, things like that, herbs like roots are great as well. So anyway, I'm on day 5 and a little bit about my background. I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. I was diagnosed first with breast cancer in 2019, and then I underwent extensive chemotherapy and surgery. And I was also diagnosed with BRCA1, which is a aggressive genetic cancer. And so I underwent all that, and then when I thought I was in the clear around 2021, I was having trouble balancing, and I'm a yoga teacher, so I knew what was wrong. I mean, I knew it was wrong. I knew my body wasn't operating optimally. However, the pain, there was so much pain from the tumor. It was really hard. It was really hard to get through. So I sought help from acupuncturists and chiropractors, but no one knew it was a tumor. Do you guys understand that? No one knew it was a tumor. So of course there are gonna be all these pains and whatnot, but no one knew it was gonna be a tumor. They were all just saying like, oh, do more acupuncture, you have too much chi in your body, until I like just collapsed. I just couldn't even, function anymore. And then basically I just was rushed into the emergency room, and they gave me a CAT scan. And in the CAT scan, that's where they found the tumor. And then from there I had radiation, and I had the tumor removed, and I had the most amazing doctor. He's so great. I like, there's part of me that absolutely loves Western medicine. Like, there was no way I could get that tumor out. I don't know. Maybe actually, you know what? I don't want to say no way, because we just don't know. But I'm really glad he got it out. That's all I can say. Maybe I could have fasted it out as well, but I don't know. I'm really happy I went through that experience. So in any event, I thought I was in the clear, and it turns out that there's some activity in my brain, and I went off of the oral chemo that I had been on for like a year or some change, and I went off of it because I didn't want to continue doing it with all the side effects over the long term, because there's some like really serious side effects in the chemo drug. It's an oral chemo, not the kind you put in your veins. So anyway, what am I saying here? I didn't do the chemo anymore. I didn't want to do the chemo. And I talked to my oncologist about it, and she was fine with it. And so I got off of the chemo, and then I got scanned, because I got scanned. I do an MRI like every 1 to 3 months, but mostly it's now every month because of what just happened. So basically I went in, and they found all these like artifacts of what seems like cancer in my brain, in the right side of my cerebellum. And then they ordered a spinal tap to assess if there's cancer cells in the you know, if there's cancer cells in the fluid, in the CSF, cerebral spinal fluid. And that's how they can know if cancer has spread in your body. That's how they know if cancer has spread in your body. So to know the cancer. So yeah, they did the spinal tap, and it was such a beautiful relief that there were no cancer cells in my body, actually. Amazing. So it's like, what's going on in the head? What's going on? And get this, guys. So then they gave me another chemo drug, just like another drug to oral chemo. And I was like, all right, well, they're like, this is gonna nuke it. We're gonna get that. Whatever it is. I'm like, sweet. I trust you guys. Like, I'm down. And yeah, it didn't turn out that way. So it got worse. And so that's primarily why I'm doing this fast for 30 days. And I knew about a naturopathic doctor that I had met, and she's a mom of 2, and she's absolutely brilliant. And I asked her, I said, what do you think's going on? Like, what do you think is going on? And I sent her the video of my new scan, or my new MRI, and she was very, very direct with me. I mean, just extremely direct about what I need to do. And I fully trust her, guys, because I have been her friend for years, and I've seen the way she operates. I see the way that she is with her kids. I see how she looks. I know her. I know it's not just some fluky doctor. That I know her. I know she would never lead me in like a wrong direction. Like, I just know that about her. So that's what I'm doing. I'm working with her for a month on this, and we're gonna rescan. And there's a couple different outcomes that can happen. So first outcome is that I'm gonna do the worst case scenario. Okay? Like, what's the worst case scenario? I become very emaciated. All right, whatever, fine. A lot of people throughout history have been emaciated. Okay, emaciated. And then they find worse cancer or whatever in my brain, right? The cancer cells in my brain, right? And more activity, all right? More activity. Okay, that's the worst case scenario. Medium scenario, I'm still famished. I mean, you know, skin and bones or whatever. And they find a little improvement, okay? That's a point of information, okay? The third outcome is that I get rescanned and everything's gone, right? That's a great outcome. So that means that the fasting for a month was just as effective as the chemo drug. Okay, because it actually did the job. I love Western medicine, but if it can't do the job, then you've got to trust the body. I mean, or you focus on the body first and then put your body in the best freaking healthy shape it can be. And then if that doesn't work, then there's options, right? So here we are. I'm on the 5th day. I'm on the 5th day. I'm on the 5th day of the fast. And it's been a journey. It's been a spiritual journey. It's been an emotional journey. Already. It's been amazing, actually. And I'm so grateful I have a guide. You know, I have a real, true person who can help me get to this place. And I truly trust her. And so someone was asking me about protein. It was actually my husband. He was asking me about, you have enough protein? Do you have enough protein? And he was nervous, right? Because he cares so much, right? And other people too. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you don't do too much. Make sure you don't do, like, people want to care for you, which is beautiful, but it's a little misdirected, because it's like, you got to make sure the person who's doing the fast or walking through cancer or whatever, they have an internal compass, and they are an individual who can make decisions, you know, good decisions. You don't have to infantilize them. So in any event, I'm grateful to be working with her, because she's brilliant and she can really guide me on this path. And I don't think, oh my God, they're so cute. There's all these like little kids to the left of me. I'm just grateful to have that. I'm just super, super grateful to have that. And I wouldn't want to do this without her. Another thing that I've had to sort of walk through is just I've been in 12-step recovery for almost 18 years of my life. So basically as long as I've been a real adult, I've been in recovery. And I've been in recovery for food addiction. And I was bulimic starting at age 14. And then when I was 24, I went into recovery for food addiction. And it changed my life. It brought me closer to my higher power, which some people call God, or whatever you call it, Yahweh, Allah, all the things, Buddha, the source, the universe. I started really connecting with my higher power. And I started meditating every day for a half hour. And I would get on my knees in the morning and my knees at night and thank my higher power for a sober day from sugar and flour. Because sugar and flour were a drug for me. The same way that alcohol was, or weed, smoking weed, cigarettes, all that is just part of the same big, you know, trauma that I was dealing with in my own life. I left home at 14 years old and lived with my sister, and I was into New York City, you know, basically living on my own in New York City. So this 12-step program really gave me a great foundation. And the premise is you have no flour or sugar. You don't eat flour or sugar, because flour and sugar are a drug. And eat 3 meals a day and nothing in between. And you avoid binge foods or triggering foods. So no flour and sugar. So if you loved oranges and ate like 100 oranges, that would mean that would be a binge food for you. So you would want to avoid the orange. So anyway, I know I don't want to go all into this. There's lots of resources. If you are struggling with addiction to food, most of the people in the program were obese, and now they're not. I was coming from being bulimic and kind of crazy with drugs and alcohol. I was about 20 pounds overweight. But most of the people who come into the recovery are about 70, 80, 90, 100 pounds overweight. Anyway, so I joined this program and I got a foundation of how to eat, and I would weigh my food every day. And I got very used to weighing my food and having this kind of like notion that I could never juice because it wasn't abstinent, or I didn't want to not be like break my abstinence around flour, sugar, all that. So yeah, I've been doing that for, that's a long time, right? That's 18 years. Truly a long time to weigh and measure your food and not eat flour and sugar. But when this cancer stuff happened, I went more of a I stopped eating meat, and I really stopped trying to stop eating dairy and anything that would cause inflammation. But, you know, I wasn't perfect. I mean, I really like goat cheese and bananas. I mean, those are very high sugary content fruit. Um, so it was a big dramatic step to say, like, okay, I had to talk to my sponsor in my 12-step program and talk to her about, like, could I do this? And my naturopathic doctor was like, you have to ask somebody to do this. But she doesn't understand that the 12-step program saved my life. So I will ask that. And I'm just grateful my sponsor is supporting me on the journey. You know, it really means a lot. And I think that not eating flour and sugar for 18 years gave me the ability to do what I'm doing now. I truly believe that. I truly feel that if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be able to do this. And I think a lot of people struggle with this part, or they can't do it, or they don't even want to think about doing it because they're so addicted to flour and sugar that they could not imagine just fasting. But I just want to say that fasting is truly beautiful. It's a truly, truly beautiful experience. And I think people would be doing themselves a disservice if they never get that ability to do it. I think that it really completes someone's life when they're able to do this. And there's a lot of literature that supports that. Religious literature, Christianity, Judaism, Buddhism, Taoism, whatever, Hinduism, whatever you believe. Whatever you believe. And my friends of different religions quote me on different things. You know, a friend, I was raised in one religion, right? It's a religion, and my friend was raised in a different religion, and she quoted the Bible, you know, the New Testament, how Jesus fasted. He 40 days fasted. And to be a truly humble person, you would fast and not talk about it. Because apparently fasting back in Jesus's time was seen as something very pious, very devoted to God, and people would fake fasting apparently. So there's some sort of scripture where it says, like, don't fake a fast, and don't try to act like it, and don't try to act like you're suffering when you're not really suffering. So it's super powerful, guys. It's super powerful. So today is day 5 of the fast. I'm on day 5 of the fast. And it's been here, there, everywhere. I mean, I haven't been able to sleep much because my body is so energetic. Because when you're not digesting food, your body has more energy. When you're digesting food, it gets more tired. That's why after you eat a big meal, you're tired, obviously. So I've got to figure out how to get more sleep. So I'm going to talk to my doctor today about that. I feel very, very present, very focused, hyper-focused. My eyesight, I feel like my eyesight, I don't have any problems with my eyesight. It's getting clearer. I was having like a pain in the back of my head. I think due to the brain tumor removal. And I have like a missing skull back here. Like part of my skull is missing. So they took out a tumor, and when I would bend my head back sometimes, I would feel like a little pain, like a little pinching pain. I'd feel like a little pinching pain. And I don't feel that right now. I mean, which is really amazing. I don't feel that. I don't know. Things are happening. I feel good. I'm not really super tired, and I'm not lethargic unless I'm walking up a lot of stairs or a hill. I just not. These kids are so cute. Oh my God. I totally want to like show you the kids, but that would be like not cool to put on YouTube. It's really too public. It's too public. So that being said, fasting is amazing. If you have questions about fasting, let me know. Fasting is just a very powerful tool in your toolbox, especially if you are going through cancer. It's just one thing to try, like why not? If you're given something terminal, like me, like obviously stage 4 cancer is fucking scary. Oops. Freaking scary. I'm so sorry I cursed. I hope the algorithm picks that up. I'm really sorry I cursed. I will never do that again on YouTube. But it is really scary. Stage 4 cancer is scary. And, you can try the Western approach, and that's great. I think that's great. I think if it works, awesome. And if it doesn't, you have alternatives. That's all. I did all the Western things, and I'm super grateful I did. However, I wish I would have fasted during chemo. Because it would have protected my good cells more effectively. I was eating all throughout chemo. Also, when you fast during chemo, you have less nausea and side effects. And before I am going down this road, well, actually I coach women. I help other women get through their cancer journey. More the emotional. I'm not a doctor. I don't make prescriptions. That's what my doctor does. What I do is I work on the mental part of that, and that's my training in mindfulness and mindfulness education. And I'm working currently with Dr. Langer at Harvard, who wrote the formidable book Mindfulness. And I'm also working with Peggy Huddleston. She wrote an amazing book about how to prepare for surgery. Peggy Huddleston. Those are amazing resources to focus on the mental part of the cancer disease. There's the physical part, and then there's the mental part. Obviously, the mind and body are connected. I think, therefore I am. Obviously, they're connected, right? But it's good to focus on, they're connected, so it's good to focus on both. But yeah, essentially that's so much a part of the path. But I think anyone with stage 4 cancer should definitely be open to trying different things. But I'm grateful for the journey. I just wish I fasted during chemo. That's all. Because your cells are more protected. And when I saw my clients have so much success by fasting when they were going through chemo. I was really impressed because I didn't do it. I didn't know about it, honestly. I didn't know about it till later. But one of my clients who lives in Bali, how cool is that? She did it, and she did it with like flying colors. I was like, wow. It was such a beautiful thing to witness. And she did chemotherapy and she fasted. And she's doing great now. I think she's gonna get married. Like, I would go to her wedding. I wanna go to her wedding. I will totally go to her wedding. Oh my God. I hope she invites me. All right, well, so I digress. I think that might be the fasting. It just kind of makes you kind of just a little bit slower. I think if I was doing this video before fasting, I would have been a lot more animated, or I would have made the effort to like edit it. And I don't have that energy to really edit videos right now. I'm sorry. If you're looking for a quick, fun video channel, I don't think this is gonna be it. This is like the fasting slow channel. But I hope people find this channel because I really like YouTube. I mean, YouTube like saved my butt one time, and I'll tell you how it saved my butt. YouTube saved my butt because I was going through a really hard thing with a friend. Where it was a friend who just rejected, like I felt really rejected by that friend. It was really hard to deal with that. And I felt like I was discarded, you know? Have you ever felt that way? Have you ever felt discarded? And there was this guy, he's got his channel. It's called Narc Daily. And I don't know, the way he spoke about it was just so comforting. I don't know, I just was like totally addicted to his videos, and I was like, man, YouTube is so great for helping people with like emotional stuff sometimes. So I just felt like being on here was good because not everybody's on Facebook, or not everybody has Instagram, but I think YouTube all over the world, like people can get YouTube information, and it's really cool. I mean, there's some countries where you probably can't still, but for the majority, YouTube is like a lingua franca. Like it's like we all speak the YouTube language, right? So I'll be coming to you live every day about my fast. Today's day 5. I'm sorry I didn't do day 1, 2, 3, 4. I just was kind of trying to get my stuff together about how I'm doing this. What's it all about? But now I'm kind of clear, you know. I just really want to share it so we can learn from it, and kind of like a big science. It's a big science experiment. One that we can all gain wisdom from. You're right. We can all gain wisdom from it. Doctors can gain wisdom from it. Western doctors can gain wisdom from it. I love my Western doctors. I have some amazing Western doctors, and Eastern doctors can learn from it because I have some amazing Eastern doctors. 100% of everybody can learn about it. It's like an amazing study. It's really, truly an amazing study, even though it's one person. So that's a little bit concerning because actually it's not one person. That's actually not true at all. There's thousands of people who have been doing, hundreds, thousands of people have been doing this. But maybe it's not, maybe in a journal. Fasting's gotta be in journals. It's gotta be in journals. I've gotta look into this. Okay, so what am I trying to say here? This is a very fabulous fasting. This is a fabulous test, experiment. Like, we're being good scientists. And If it turns out well, great. If it doesn't turn out well, great. We still learned something. And that's not my quote. That's Dr. Langer. She's brilliant, and she says that if I go to a restaurant and I don't like the food, great. If I go to the restaurant and I like the food, great. Both are great. Because if you go to a restaurant and you don't like the food, her thing is like she'll eat less. So she won't feel so full afterwards. I thought that was so cute. She's 76. She's the first tenured professor at Harvard. The first tenured professor at Harvard in psychology. That's actually a really important point. Not in the whole of Harvard, but like in the psychology department. Oh my God, the psychology department. I love psychology. I could talk about psychology all day long. That's why I love Narc Daily, because he is a brilliant psychologist. And I love brilliant psychologists. It's just like, I just love it. So anyway, I'll be coming to you every day that I'm fasting. And I know we're gonna learn together. The doctors are gonna learn. We're all gonna just figure, we're gonna use this as a point of information. That if this fasting truly destroys what's going on in my brain, then that is amazing. It's not a miracle. I mean, it is a miracle. Guys, please. I know it's a miracle, but it's a miracle with action. That you did the action and then you have the miracle. You kind of have to plant the miracle of doing the good actions, right? The good deeds. This is a good deed. Like fasting is a good deed. It's very spiritual. It's very grounded. It's a good deed. And that's when miracles happen. When you put the effort into the good deed, that's when miracles happen. So if this truly happens, then it's going to be beautiful. And I can see, here's where all the mindfulness stuff comes in, and where the positive psychology, like Tal Ben-Shahar. If you don't know Tal Ben-Shahar, you should know who Tal Ben-Shahar is. He had the most popular course at Harvard. And there were like 5,000 people signed up for his course. I don't know. I don't actually know if that was true. You can please put that in the comments if you don't, if you know. But basically, Tal Ben-Shahar has an open course on YouTube. This is another reason why I love YouTube. I should just I should marry YouTube. But he had a course all on YouTube, and it's called, what's the course called? It's called Happiness. That's it. It's just called Happiness. It's the happiness course, and it's all online, and it teaches people the positive psychology of happiness. It's all positive psychology. So if you truly believe something, you can make it happen. I mean, this is the law of attraction. This is the secret, all that. That's all part of this. And throughout history, humans understood this and manifested what they saw in their mind. Like Leonardo da Vinci, he didn't know, he had this vision. So with positive psychology, you can retrain your mind. You can have a vision that is so powerful, that knocks you off your feet. You just have to trust in the vision. When you don't trust in the vision, you can't manifest it. So I trust in the vision of healing, I trust that everything's going to be fine. So I don't have fear, and I don't have stress, and I don't have anxiety. Those emotions don't help with healing. They just don't. So the mindset is so important when you're walking through something like this. Just as important as the physical. And that is the one thing that they do not target or talk about in Western medicine. And I have been to enough doctors to know that and to speak with that with truth. They might say, oh, how are you feeling? This, actually, no, I don't think they've even asked me that. Have they ever asked me that? Throughout my whole journey with stage 4 metastasized breast cancer, from breast to the brain, radiation, chemotherapy, reconstruction, deep reconstruction, genetic cancer, BRCA1, now cancer cells in the brain. I mean, that's a lot. A mother of 2 was under 40 when initially diagnosed. Do they just sit there and do they just ask you, like, how are you feeling? No, not really. That's not their job. It's really, guys, it's really not. They didn't sign up for that, maybe. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I don't know. In medical school, I don't know. I don't know what they teach because I didn't go to medical school. Sometimes I wish I did, but I didn't. But I mean, they're brilliant, right? These doctors, some of them are brilliant. Like my doctor, Dr. Ralph Vega, he's absolutely brilliant. He can go in and take out a tumor. Like, I can't do that. I wouldn't even know what vessel is here. The person would die, like, right away. So, listen, they're brilliant, but there's certain things that they just don't talk about, and that's the emotional part, of going through this. And there was many times in my cancer journey, I actually don't want to say my cancer because I don't own my cancer, in the cancer journey that, oh, I didn't bring out my Hamsa. My Hamsa is so pretty. I didn't really put any makeup on. I have no earrings. This is just like, I don't look sorry guys. Should have probably looked a little nicer for this video. Oh well. What was I saying? Yeah, I don't want to own the cancer journey. Yeah, I don't want to. But throughout the journey, I was asked, do you want drugs? Like, do you want an antidepressant? Do you want a sleep med? Like, they would ask me because they couldn't talk about the emotions, but they would offer drugs because that's the way that they can communicate. And I would be like, I didn't express that I was anxious. I didn't express that I was tired. And I would tell them this. And I was like, why are you asking me this? I confronted a doctor one day. I was like, excuse me, I was in rehab. I was in rehab for a brain surgery. And he's like, I know you can't, he's like, I know you're anxious. I know you can't sleep, blah, 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 blah. And this is why you should take this, da, 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 da. And you know what? And at the end of the day, he was not a bad guy. It was something along the lines of melatonin. And melatonin is fine. I think it's a fine drug. It's not a drug. It's a supplement. So I think it was melatonin. I don't know, maybe there was something else in it. But at the end of the day, I was not mad at him, but initially I was just like, what the heck? Like, what? I was a little annoyed when my breast surgeon asked me if I wanted an antidepressant. That one was a little bit like, what? Why? I'm fine. Like, I'm fine. I brought my son to the one of the appointments with me to meet with the breast surgeon. I just want to normalize these things for my kids. So I would just bring them with me, like, all right, we're going to meet with the breast surgeon today. And then she was like, hey, Joe. I'm over. You want to come here? Okay. So yeah. I'm making a video for YouTube. What are you doing?
I'm on a call right now, and
Okay.
it's 9 o'clock.
Okay, cool. Peace
Enjoy
out.
your day.
That was my husband. That's the response. That's a responsible person in my family. I'm not really responsible right now. I'm on vacation. I'm on fasting vacation. It's awesome. I'm not really working. Well, I have one client that she snuck in before I start the fast. I'll take on clients after all this, but not right now because yeah, I don't want to like give out too much energy right now to people's energy. Like anybody who's coming at me with, if they're coming at me with a lot of need, like someone messaged me recently, they're like, I need to talk. And I was like, why do you need to talk? And she's like, I'm struggling with, I'm like, oh no, sorry, I can't, not right now. I have my client though, but I love my client because we're just working on mind stuff. We're just working on controlling the mind to not go to negativity. And she's a survivor, but she's still, you still need to have that daily support with your mind and what's going on. So she's healthy, healthy physically. She has no cancer in her body, but it's her mind. And we all know that mind body connected, and they always say, like, if you have cancer, and I had a genetic cancer, but all cancer is emotional and linked to emotions as well. And I think that if I had this kind of genetic cancer 100 years ago, it wouldn't be as severe as it is now, because a lot of it is environmental and emotional. So yeah, we're working on the mental, because we know that there's this statistic that says that if you were stressed like 3 years before you got cancer, or the 3 years leading up to the cancer, that is like part of the reason why you might have cancer, and the environment as well. And that's why it's so important to focus on the mental part of this disease. And I love working with women in that regard, but I can't do that while I'm fasting, because I don't have that capacity. Because I need to surround myself with a super amazing orbit of light and not have any negative energy. Okay? That's important. And I have a private group on Facebook that I'm sharing my journey every step of the way. I'm also sharing on Instagram. I'll put those links below. But I'm not letting anybody into my Facebook group who has any kind of negative energy. That's all I'm going to say about that. Because I have to surround myself with it, like an orb of light. Like if you're freaking fasting for 30 days or whatever, like you cannot let the naysayers in, and let them whirl. Let them, like the whirling dervishes whirl. Like let them whirl. Let them do it. Let them do it. Let them have your fear. Let them have fear. Let them have your fear. Let them have your fear. But you don't need to have that fear. You don't need to have that fear. You don't need to, their fears impart upon you. The birds are so nice, huh? It's really nice. This used to be, what was that? That was the old post office? No. Anyway. All right, so I'm gonna go now. I think this is time to leave, because I don't think I have anything more to say right now. Besides, okay, it's day 5, so I'll keep coming back every day. And if you want to see what day 1 to 5 was like, before, because I don't have any videos right now about that up, I will be posting information. You can join the group and follow the journey, and you can see the posting of that information. I'm also going to be taking a lot of supplements, and I just want to be clear about something. These supplements they're not part of an MLM or anything like that. However, I want to be transparent. I do represent a couple MLMs, and I'm going to make a disclaimer. I know there's a lot of judgment around it. Hear me out, people. I left teaching. I left high school teaching. I didn't leave. I was terminated. Okay, I was terminated because hold on, just gonna wait. Okay, so I was terminated because I had a child, and I went on maternity leave, and they hired my sub, and my sub was like half my rate. I mean, half what I cost, and I cost a lot because I had my master's, and I had already 7 years teaching, and anyway, they let me go. They hired my sub. He's no longer working there. I don't know what's going on in that department, but yeah, I mean, I had a full-time job being a media teacher. I worked in media. I helped kids make movies and or tell the stories of their lives, documentarian. And I love documentary filmmaking. It's great. So I left teaching, and I needed an income. I needed income because I didn't know what I was going to do. And I started teaching yoga more regularly, but yoga, guys, doesn't pay the bills. Like, I'm sorry, it doesn't. I love it, but it doesn't pay the bills. And so I needed other forms of income, so I joined MLM. And I have mixed feelings about it, but overall, I'm grateful for the ones that I'm part of. But the ones I'm part of, like, I do take the oils of that company, and I do take the glutathione. The rest of the supplements, I'm going to tell you right now, I have no affiliation, and there's a lot of them because they're coming straight from my doctor. So oils are me, glutathione is me, everything else is up for grabs in the universe. I'm just going to be sharing about what she's telling me is what I should do. Okay, I just want to be clear about that, so we're in good order. But if you do decide, I just want to say something. If you decide you're like, Vera, I really want that oil, or Vera, I really want that glutathione, just send me a message. That will make me really happy. That actually would. So don't be shy about that. But all the other supplements, I can put like Amazon links to it, because I think I have an Amazon affiliate or something. So I might do that, like all the other supplements. So it wouldn't be hurt, because it would be nice to have some kind of income while I'm doing this, because I'm not really working with clients right now. I'm just doing this. This is really financially all I'm doing, right? Oh, and I do have one client. Oh yeah, I teach meditation and I teach yoga. But again, we all know about yoga. Doesn't pay the bills. The meditation actually pays well. Because I'm working for a corporate client. That pays well. Is that it? Is that all the money? Yeah. Luckily, I saved money, so I can do a fast and not feel guilty. And I have a partner who supports the fast. But yeah, you kind of have to be in a good economic state too, because you don't want to be having to like exert yourself. Oh my God, what the heck? It's like so loud. Yeah, you don't want to like overexert yourself so much. I feel very like leisurely. I feel extremely, like I feel like I'm on vacation. It's really cool. So I wish, it's kind of interesting because like chemotherapy, you would like dread sometimes going to chemotherapy, especially me. I dreaded it because I did like a cold cap, and I would have to basically like sit and wait, and you know, just for hours, and it was cold. I had like basically an ice cube on my head for like 7 hours, 6 hours, 5 hours. I don't even remember. It was so long. And then you all right. Sorry, I gotta make sure not to have people call me when I'm doing these videos. Sorry about that. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, wrapping that up. What the heck was I? All right, that was distracting. I really need to shut my phone down. Anyway, yeah, I'm grateful to share this journey and along the way with you guys. This is great. You know, this is great. I love talking about it too. It's so fun to talk about it. But yeah, you know, you just want to be in a good place if you ever fast, and you really want to work with a doctor. I definitely would not recommend doing this without working with a doctor. I can help you with the mind stuff, but you should work with a doctor to do this. I think people can do like 7-day fast, 7 days of fasting, but maybe not 30. Maybe like definitely a day or two. I mean, everyone can do a day or two. But I think if you're going to do a prolonged fast, like 30 days, I think you need to have a naturopathic doctor. Probably not a Western doctor, maybe a Western doctor, but a naturopathic doctor. You also would want to connect with a naturopathic doctor when you're doing chemo as well. All right, well, on that note, it's been an hour. I think I'm gonna roll, go make some juice. Have a glorious, glorious, glorious rest of your everything, wherever you are in with the world. I hope you found this video helpful, and I always welcome questions anytime. This is a beautiful community, and I'm grateful for you, and I wish you the best. Take care. Bye.